Hello students. Today we are going to continue our chapter number 10, Shadow and Eclipses, and the topic which we will see today, that is size of the shadow depending on the position of the light. Means how the position of the light affects the shadow. So here there is a three situation of the morning, afternoon and evening, and we will see how the position of sun affects the shadow. In the morning when the sun rises, then we get the sun ray in slanting position and it is long. When the sun rises or in the afternoon, then we get the shadow which is shortest in size, since the light ray has to travel the shortest distance, and in the evening it is again slanting. If the object is or the luminous object is at the left side, the shadow will be formed at the right side. If it is at directly top, then shadow will be at the bottom. If it is at the right, then the shadow will be at left side. So we can say that the shadow is long in the morning and evening because the ray of the sun are slant. The size of the shadow is smallest at noon time when the sun is overhead, means just above the head. This is because the sun rays of the sun have to travel the shortest distance, and it is always opposite to it. To prove it, there is an experiment from which we can say that how the size of the object differ when the source of the light is placed at the different position. So here this is the torch. Then what happen if we place the torch or the source of light nearer to the opaque object, then we will get a bigger shadow. But when we place the torch at a distant place far from the object, then the size of the shadow will be small. So basically, if we change the position of the source of the light, the shadow's size will be also changed. And always keep in mind children, it should be always opaque body, opaque object. You cannot keep it transparent or translucent, because if you keep transparent or translucent, then we will get no shadow or faint shadow. Since we want a clear shadow, so we will keep the object as opaque object. Now we will see how the moon shines because of the sun. This is the sun, and we know that moon is the brightest object in the night sky. Means at night moon is the only thing which seems to be shining. The moon has no light of its own. It shines because it reflects the sun's light. The light of sun is being reflected on the earth, and the light of sun is also being reflected to the moon. Then what happens? Since the light is being reflected on the moon also, we are able to see from the earth, because the reflected light just make the image on our retina. If you go to the moon and then you see the earth, then also you will be able to see the moon. Then also you will be able to see the earth from the moon. Same thing if you go on earth. Since we are on earth and we see the moon, then we are able to see the moon, because the light is being reflected at the both side, and both are non-luminous object, and sun is the only luminous object. Luminous objects are the objects which has its own light. And we see that there are different phases of moon due to the light of the sun that falls on the different portion of the moon as it moves around the earth. As we know that the moon moves around the earth. This is how the moon is the earth's natural satellite and its closest neighbor. As we know that the moon is the only object which is near to the earth. The surface of the moon is uneven with plains and mountains since it is made up of rocks. There is no air or water on the moon since there is no life existing on the moon. The moon's gravity is 6 times less than the earth's. As we know that earth has also its own gravity and moon has also its own gravity, but it is less than the earth's gravity, 6 times less. The side of the moon that faces the sun is very hot and the side that is away it is very cold. Means here this side of the moon will be the coldest one and this side will be the hottest one. So like this we know that how we can see the moon. Okay, thank you children.